She asked it so casually that it felt like a trap, the kind of sentence that changes the direction of your life before you even realize you've answered it. "Do you want to stay here tonight?" The room went quiet, my heart loud enough to drown out the rain tapping against her window, and before I could overthink it, I said the one thing that felt half brave and half terrified: "I'm not sleeping on the sofa." If you've ever been on the edge of something that could either heal you or break you, you'll understand why that moment mattered more than anything that came after. We'd known each other for years, but only in the way you know someone who's always been nearby yet never truly close. She was the friend of a friend, the familiar face at gatherings, the girl who smiled softly and listened more than she spoke. That night wasn't supposed to mean anything. I'd stopped by because the power had gone out in my apartment, and she'd insisted I wait at her place until it came back. Outside, the rain turned the city into a blur of reflections, and inside, her small living room felt warmer than it should have. We talked about nothing at first: work frustrations, bad coffee, how tired we both were of pretending we had everything figured out. Somewhere between laughter and silence, something shifted. She confessed things people don't usually admit out loud. How lonely nights scared her more than crowded days. How she'd learned to be strong because no one had stayed long enough to help her be anything else. I surprised myself by opening up too, telling her about failed relationships, about how I'd mastered the art of leaving before I could be left. The rain grew heavier, the power still out, and time started to feel irrelevant. When she finally asked if I wanted to stay, it wasn't an invitation loaded with promises, it was a question filled with vulnerability. My answer made her laugh, a soft sound that carried relief more than humor. "Fair," she said, standing up. "I don't own a sofa that's comfortable anyway." We stood there, awkward and unsure, two adults suddenly unsure of where to put their hands or what the next step was supposed to be. Nothing dramatic happened right away. No movie-style kiss, no rushed passion. Just a shared understanding that something honest was unfolding, slowly and carefully. We ended up in her bedroom, fully clothed at first, sitting on opposite sides of the bed like teenagers pretending not to notice each other. The storm outside felt like a shield, giving us permission to pause the world. When she finally lay down and turned toward me, her eyes searched my face as if asking a silent question: "Are you staying for the right reasons?" I lay down too, leaving just enough space between us to respect the moment. Sleep didn't come easily. My mind raced with doubts, hopes, and the terrifying possibility that this night mattered more to me than I was ready to admit. Sometime after midnight, she shifted closer. Her hand brushed mine, and instead of pulling away, I let our fingers intertwine. It was a small gesture, but it carried the weight of trust. She whispered that she was glad I stayed. I wanted to tell her that I was glad too, that something about her calm strength made me feel safe in a way I hadn't felt in years, but the words felt too fragile to release into the dark. So I squeezed her hand instead, hoping she understood. Morning light crept in quietly, revealing a version of reality that felt different from the night before. We woke up tangled in sheets, not in a dramatic way, but in the comfortable messiness of two people who had slept without walls. For a moment, neither of us spoke. I watched her breathe, half expecting the awkwardness to crash down on us, to turn the night into something we'd regret. Instead, she smiled, unguarded and real, and asked if I wanted coffee. The day tested us in unexpected ways. Over breakfast, reality tried to assert itself. Responsibilities, past hurts, the fear of misreading the situation, all of it hovered between us. She admitted she was scared this was just another temporary connection, another almost something. I confessed that commitment had always felt like a risk I didn't know how to manage. The honesty was uncomfortable, but it was also freeing. We weren't pretending this was easy or perfect. Later that afternoon, as I prepared to leave, she stopped me at the door. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed how much courage it took to speak. She said she didn't need promises, just presence. That hit me harder than any demand ever could. I realized then that staying the night wasn't about where I slept, it was about whether I was willing to show up when things were uncertain. I didn't have a grand speech ready. I just told her the truth, that I couldn't guarantee the future, but I could guarantee honesty, effort, and respect. I said I wanted to see where this could go, not because it was convenient, but because it felt real. She nodded, tears threatening but unshed, and for the first time, I felt like I wasn't running anymore. What started with a simple question became a turning point neither of us expected. That night taught me that connection doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, in the form of shared silence, open confessions, and the choice to stay when leaving would be easier. Love isn't always about grand gestures or perfect timing. Sometimes it's about two imperfect people deciding that the risk of staying is worth more than the safety of sleeping alone on the sofa.